Move Forward leader Pita Limjaroenrat's hopes to become Thailand's Prime Minister are on the line. The country's parliament is sitting today and tomorrow to vote on the 42-year-old's second bid in a week for the top job. Lawmakers have begun debating if a repeat vote would violate parliamentary regulation. Mr. Pita failed to secure a simple majority of 375 votes last week. He came in more than 50 votes short, with military-appointed senators from the upper house blocking his premiership bid. And these are live pictures out of Bangkok right now. The Prime Minister, hopeful meanwhile, appears to have softened his stance in hopes of winning over more senators. He told Reuters that he is willing to slow his pace of proposed reforms, but refused to back down from his party's goal of amending the country's strict lèse-majesté law. For the latest on this, CNE's Saksit Sayasombat joins us live from Parliament House in Bangkok. Saksit, how does it look like things are going for Pita at the moment?
Well, the question right now is whether or not we're actually going to have a Prime Minister's vote at all for Pita Limjaroenrat, the leader of the Move Forward party, because right now Parliament is actually discussing whether or not his renomination is a repeat motion. And according to parliamentary laws, a motion that has been rejected cannot be resubmitted again. But of course, obviously, the other sides are arguing that it's not the same. These are two very different things. And legally speaking, strictly legally speaking, these are not the same things. A motion, a Prime Minister's nomination is not a motion, but nevertheless, they are going to debate now. They are going to drag it out, and we may not end up with a vote at all, depending which side of the argument these things fall. But then further than that, that is not the only issue, the only obstacle for Mr. Pita, because the Constitutional Court is also deciding whether or not to accept a petition by the Election Commission that is seeking to disqualify him because of violations of campaign laws, because he allegedly held shares in a media company, and that is not allowed according to Thai election laws as well. And he could be suspended as an MP, but that would not affect his Prime Minister bid, because according to Thai laws, a Prime Minister does not have to be a member of Parliament to stand. But all in all, things are very uncertain, and Mr. Pita uncharacteristically has also avoided speaking to the press on this morning as well, says things are still up in the air today.
And Saksit, what happens if Mr. Pita fails in his second bid?
Now, the question to that first is, like, how many times does he have to fail first in order for a change there? Because the Constitution does not limit how many times a candidate can actually stand for the vote at all. But Pita has already said beforehand that if the Move Forward party fails to form a government, if they have exhausted all avenues, they are ready to step aside and let the second biggest party in the coalition, the Pure Thai party, have a step at to form the next government. And they are going to nominate their Prime Minister candidate, or one of them at least, and which is Seta Thavisin. The 60-year-old is a political novice, but is boasting his economic credentials as a property magnate. But then the question is that whether or not the other side is actually still going to vote for him or not, because some have already hinted that they are not going to vote for any government, well, if the Move Forward party with a liberal progressive agenda is going to be part of it. So there is potential and prospect that things could drag out even further and further, and we're still going to wait for a new government 2 months after the general elections in May.
All right, Saksit, thank you very much for that update. That was Saksit Sayasombat live from Bangkok.